Pittsburgh wrestling fans, I am here sitting down with PWX television champion Jack Pollock. Jack, thank you so much for being here with me today.
It's about time. It's about damn time you asked the television champion to come out here and say a few words. Go on, Trevor.
Well, Jack, as you said, you are the television champion.
Mm-hmm.
You've been the television champion for over a month now. You've had a lot of challenges in your path, and you're tied with Brandon Kay in your race to hold all the championships. Do you think you can become the new measuring stick?
The new measuring stick? You're damn right I can become the new measuring stick. Jack Pollock is already the greatest wrestler in PWX history. Alright? In my short time, I've won the heavyweight title twice. In that time, I've gone to the Shawn Evans finals 3 times, and I won it once. And now, I'm the TV champion. And Brandon Kay, we're all tied up 1-1 right now.
So everyone's made the comparison. Bryan Bowers to Jack Pollock. Both trained in Calgary by Lance Storm. Both men came in like a house of fire into PWX. Jack Pollock, you were once a man that the crowd got behind. And now that man is Bryan Bowers. And it happened real quick in your career. How do you feel about the comparisons between yourself and Bryan Bowers?
Yeah, it's funny. Bowers calls himself the new hope. The new hope of professional wrestling. But when I came to PWX, I was the new drug of professional wrestling. PWX, the fans love me. And I did everything that I had to do to prove myself to them, to prove myself to PWX. I stood up to the biggest and the baddest, and I beat them, and I fought for the fans. And now the fans don't care for me. They care for Bryan Bowers, and that's fine. I understand he's young, he's hip, he's fresh. But the fact of the matter is, Trevor, Jack Pollock is still here. Jack Pollock is still on his A game. On Bryan Bowers' best night, he can't beat Jack Pollock. But on my worst, Bryan Bowers is going to have a tough night with me. So you can compare me all you want to Bryan Bowers. You can talk about the similarities about Lance Storm and about how the fans of PWX are siding with him and how they sided with me. But the fact is, Jack Pollock on the biggest stage in the biggest matches always has delivered. On June 27th, it's going to be the same thing. For this television title, I'm going to deliver. And Bryan Bowers, he better bring everything that he has, because if he doesn't, it's going to be a quick night for me.
All right, well, let's get into it. Let's get into your battle for the television title. You've had multiple matches with Bryan Bowers over the television title, but you still haven't pinned Bryan Bowers, really, without any outside interference. You've gone to time limit draws with Bryan Bowers, and he's pinned you.
Yeah, Bowers pinned me. But if you go back and you watch that match, who dominated that match? Jack Pollock did. If you go back and watch that match, the only reason that I lost is because I fought with my heart and not with my head. I had Bryan Bowers beat. I knocked his head off with a big boot, and then I let him up. Yeah, I made a mistake. Shouldn't have done that. But Bryan Bowers can't beat me. Everything that Bryan Bowers does is in Jack Pollock's shadow.
Well, you have a match coming up again with Bryan Bowers. Do you think you can beat him 1, 2, 3 once and for all?
I beat him.
He seems to have your number.
My number. The kid couldn't beat me at Futures 4. 10-minute time limit and he couldn't get the job done. All right? At Berg Brawl, Bryan Bowers couldn't get the job done. And I don't care what PWX says. I don't care what the fans say. Jack Pollock didn't cheat at Berg Brawl. In PWX, it's mayhem rules. All right? And there's no cheating. If Bryan Bowers is too good to do what it takes to win, then Bryan Bowers is never going to beat Jack Pollock.
But can Jack Pollock truly beat Bryan Bowers without Chris LaRusso, without Morgan?
You're damn right that I can beat Bryan Bowers without Chris LaRusso, without Morgan Rockefeller. Jack Pollock has beaten everyone who's ever come through the door. Shane Taylor, Chris Taylor, Gory, Brandon Kay, Ryan Rain, the list goes on and on. But there's one thing that's always the same. Jack Pollock gets the job done. And Bryan Bowers, on June 27th, I'm going to pin you 1, 2, 3.
On June 27th, we're going to see once and for all who deserves to be the PWX television champion. Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, thanks, Trev.